Justin Gaethje has called out Islam Makhachev for a title shot, but Ilia Topuria and others are also in the running. Benail Dariush pointed out that Makhachev's southpaw stance makes takedowns more difficult to execute, and that Makhachev emphasizes striking more than Khabib did. Dariush believes Gaethje could pose a real threat with leg kicks if he can maintain the proper distance.
What do you still want at this point in your career?
I mean, I want to fight for the belt, obviously. It's a much different matchup than I just had. They tried to give me a donut. I took a bite, but I gotta get back to running if I'm gonna fight Makhachev.
I mean, what's he ranked right now? 4th or something, right?
3rd.
Yeah, 3rd. There you go. He's still the number 3 ranked guy in the world. So the odds of him getting a title shot are pretty good.
You talk about Gaethje and the potential title shot. How do you guys ultimately make the decision on who's next for Islam?
Yeah, well, you guys know there's a lot of different,
What's the issue with Islam?
I don't have anything personal with him. He's the world champion in the lightweight division. I want to move up the lightweight division. I want to face him. It's easier for me the weight cut. I already did it. I already fought at 155 in London against Joy Herbert. I want to do it once again for the world title.
You said that you're ready to go up a division. There's a tweet from Ilia Topuria that he can go up the weight and he can beat you with no problem. What do you think about that?
He believes a fight between Makhachev and Gaethje would be different due to Islam's well-rounded skills. Particularly in striking, he highlighted Islam's ability to seamlessly blend striking and submissions.
You have to understand, when you pressure Justin, it's a lot harder for him to throw those leg kicks. Khabib kind of runs forward at you, while Makhachev slowly cuts the cage off with fakes and step-by-step, counters. He moves you back towards the wall. So it definitely is a different fight. It's not going to be exactly the same fight. But as far as submission goes,
take him down. He can do anything, and before anybody starts thinking about, well, he's the Division I wrestler, this and that. But hey, he was a Division I wrestler that was wrestling with Jordan Burroughs, and that didn't help him with Khabib. So trust me, when you're talking MMA, there's a difference between just wrestling, and MMA wrestling. Khabib was the master, second to none, on MMA wrestling. In Islam, I'm going to say it's
back here and say, look, I don't even know what makes sense. But he's like, I do want to fight for the title again at some point. Do you feel like at this point in his career, he's still on a potential championship trajectory?
I mean, what's he ranked right now? 4th or something, right?
3rd.
Yeah, 3rd. There you go. He's still the number 3 ranked guy in the world. So the odds of him getting a title shot are pretty good.
Talk about Gaethje and the potential title shot. How do you guys ultimately make the decision on who's next for Islam?
Yeah, well, you guys know there's a lot of different, factors that, play out when we start talking about who's fighting next. Injuries, timing of when they want to fight, when they don't want to fight, geographically where we end up. So there's a lot of different things that determine whether a guy fights for the title.
I actually think Gaethje has a decent chance against Makhachev after watching the physio fight a few more times. I don't know. I just think, I just think Makhachev will give Gaethje chances in their fight against each other, right?
What's the issue with Islam?
I don't have anything personal with him. He's the world champion in the lightweight division. I want to move up the lightweight division. I want to face him. It's easier for me the weight cut. I already did it. I already fought at 155 in London against Joy Herbert. I want to do it once again for the world title.
You said that you're ready to go up a division. There's a tweet from Ilia Topuria that he can go up the weight and he can beat you with no problem. What do you think about that?
Не знаю, еще столько соперников, и все хотят меня там в первом, во втором раунде финишировать, все говорят об этом, но я же сказал, сделайте 70 килограмм, заходите в клетку и посмотрим, кто кого финиширует.
There's all these opponents, they all say they want to finish me in the 1st or 2nd round. I already said, if you can make 155, you can get into the cage. Let's talk about it.
Islam and Ilia Topuria go at it. Who do you think wins?
Ilia Topuria may be one of my favorite guys to watch stylistically. Ilia does a really good job of trying to win by one, not forcing anything. He's just right there in the middle until he lands a big knockout punch. I didn't think he was going to knock Max all the way out. He did. So I think he could catch Islam, but if that fight goes anything past 15 minutes, I think Islam beats him handedly just because Islam is a large 155er, and I don't think Ilia is that big for right now.
I hope, as crazy as it sounds, I hope Ilia goes up to 55. I really do. Volkanovski, Diego Lopez, 45. Ilia goes up to 55. Fuck, I don't care if he only defended the title one time or didn't. Who cares?
You want Ilia to fight Makhachev?
Let's go!
Let's fucking go. Face a couple of those guys first, like you just. Yeah, be nice, but also, who cares? Let's go.
I choose, of course, Ilia. Fight Islam Makhachev. Do I believe Ilia could beat Islam? No. But if you ain't trying, he's actually trying to attempt this. And if Ilia's able to go up a weight class, beat the pound for pound, then he automatically becomes the pound.
You just said Islam will beat him. I would lean towards that too, but I can't say that because when he shocked us.
Уверен поговорить, но у нас 100% будет какой-то разговор. Он постоянно говорит про меня, что-то хочет, наверное, донести, я не понимаю, что он хочет донести. Поговорим. Драться хочет. Поговорим честно.
Big guy. I think he's going to be a lot bigger than Topuria. But that being said, Topuria is an assassin, and I believe he can knock out anybody from 145 pounds to 170 pounds.
Do you think Islam could become the champion in the upper weight class, maybe 170 if he wanted to?
Yeah, I believe Islam could win the 170 pounds.
Ilia Topuria. He said, you know what? I want to go up to 155 pounds, fight the #1 contender, and then if he wins that, he fights Islam. I think that's fair, brother. I think he deserves.
I think if you go up, you beat somebody like Topuria and Chava, why not? Because there is
no. Ilia deserves a shot. 155 pounds.
Without fighting him on 55? Without? No, I don't know. Because some already give chance. And people talk bad about, like, oh, he fight 2 times with Volkanovski. But the UFC pushed this fight. And this fight was good. First fight. But why Islam have to give 3 times chance for 145 champion? Why? It's not fair for 155 pounds.
Right.
But if he move up and he beat somebody like Charles, you know what I think? Yeah, I think he can do it.
Yeah. I like Charles, but I think so too.
No, I think
Ilia versus Makhachev, what would you think?
I mean, bro, it's hard to go against Islam. His fighting style is a tough one. You know, he likes wrestling. He likes striking. I still love it. His striking. It's hard to play against Islam. At the end of the day, if he gets it, that's cool, but probably not. He has Volk and he was ground on the door right now, so I think, you know,
yeah, like going between Islam and Ilia.
Yeah, I mean, like Islam's a really. But again, Ilia's the type of guy that he can knock out anyone. So he's got power in his hands, you know what I mean? Everyone knows that. You go in there fighting, you know that that's his chance to win.
A guy like Islam is forced to stand with Topuria for whatever reason. There's a good chance Topuria knocks him out. I think that this is what I mean. Like, imagine you could take Saryukian's wrestling on the defensive side and put it in the body of Topuria. That gotta be Islam.
You asked a question last night about Islam Makhachev and you had a smile on your face. There's nothing special to ask him. I can kind of read it through him a little bit.
He's the part. He's dangerous. Boxing is so dangerous. He's dangerous with submissions. He's dangerous with kicking. He fought this dude Jai Herman. He gets his head kicked first round by. He scrambled, got a hold of him. Next round, sent him into the dog lands. Walk off tank.
Yeah, anyone else you'd want to fight at lightweight? I know you said you'd be willing to fight Oliveira.
There are so many excited fights in the lightweight.
Even on now, I guess he's kind of.
Yeah, Arma needs to build himself a little bit more, you know. But at this point, just imagine a fight with. Yeah, I love that dog.
My understanding is the UFC isn't a fan of this right now. They're not a huge fan of champion versus champion, and one guy keeps the belt. If only because they got a lot of pay-per-views to fill. They're trying to put on, the most act cards with the most title fights, and they don't like holding up divisions. That has often been their stance, which has been confirmed today by his manager, Malkikawa. The weight cuts were getting really hard. The weight cuts were really getting hard. He's fought at 155. He's scored wins at 155. And he just wants some of us owe Ilia Topuria an apology, because I think when he was talking about this a month or two ago, we were like, come on, man, you only defended the title once. There are still some fights out there. There's the rematch against Volkanovski. There's a Diego Lopez fight. On it goes. You're not going to really move up. You're not going to vacate the title. And he was telling hope that it can happen as soon as International Fight Week. That's not 100%. That's probably the reason why they didn't announce it yesterday. It could happen later in the year. There's a ton more pay-per-views post-June. What is it, the 28th? There's one in mid to late July, then there's August, and of course there's Abu Dhabi in October. It feels International Fight Week worthy, if you ask me. It just feels like a gigantic fight, a super fight, a featherweight champion moving up to fight the best lightweight in the world. Many mixed emotions with all these announcements. Bummed for Volk, happy he's still getting a title fight, happy for Diego Lopez, what a story. Excited for Ilia Topuria, excited for the opportunity, and if I'm being honest, Ilia versus Islam interests me a lot more right now than Islam versus Charles too. Am I crazy?
No.
We saw it. I don't think we were going to see a different result. This is fresh. This is fun. This feels special.
You can beat Makhachev, like seeing it across the fashion, you know. Yeah. We all know how he's bad. I want to see him, so you know he hasn't been seeing what's going to happen. For that fight. So yeah, you're giving me a lot of interesting scenarios if you want. So let's see what happens. You know, but we agree we're games is working on that fight. So I'm not going to see the fight. Maybe just because Dean said we're working. I think that's anybody. I mean, all his own is too much. He's not going to do these fights. You know, to make one fight. You know, we all have the same attitude. Fight, you know, this is either offering. You're not going to say no. That's what they offer. That's what's being worked out as a young people for Islam. That's what becomes going to do. It's the way he is. He's a true warrior. He's not someone that's going to say, not doing somebody else. No, he's going to fight. It's the way it is. You know, we're a champion, we're number one person. We're not supposed to reject any person they go from. You know, we'll do what champions. So those things are accurate. Topuria is a topic size. Other ways, as a matter of fact. He does everything. So with Islam. But we're not going to make that. It's good. Islam every time. But what is going on with Ilia Topuria? And I think that's a fair question too. Why is every time I see his name, if he's attached to Islam, nobody wants to see the fight. Nobody's encouraging the fight. And Topuria won't stop.
Илья хоть говорит, что он не начал, это он начал, он же сказал, что он не хочет выписывать исламу чек за сломанную челюсть. Кому ты можешь сломать челюсть? Если ты можешь сломать челюсть, пойдем, скажи, это что, тяжело, что ли, найти человека, сказать, пойдем, подеремся. Это все не, может, это часть, знаешь, привлечения внимания, может быть, если так на это смотреть. А так, я не думаю, что ислам уступит ему где-нибудь. А тот же Усман тоже. Да и никто.
He did anything he can to avoid a fight with Ilia Topuria.
Tiene miedo. Claro que tiene miedo.
Now, of course, Ilia Topuria is talking a lot of shit there. And that's exactly what you want to do if you want to get the fight. Now, the problem is right now, we have champions trying to jump all over the place. For example, we've got Alex Pereira trying to fight John Jones and move up a weight class. We've got John Jones that should be fighting Tom Aspinall, sharing the image of Pereira calling out Jones on his social media, which is setting the world on fire. We've got John Jones going live on Instagram and threatening to kill people and then hanging up.
Are you intoxicated? You know, he just become champion. You have to defend your title a couple of times. Even one time. Please, stay focused on your division. He have Mafsan, he have Ultimate Stanley on the way, he have right now Max Holloway. And when you have good fights on your division, be quiet. I understand if you will beat everyone, Mafsan, Ultimate Stanley, like doesn't matter, like he clean his division and then he wanna come to up. I understand, like everybody will say, like he can, for example, Alexander Volkanovski beat 3 times Max Holloway. He beat everyone. When he go up, he beat everyone, and then he go. You know,